Hey, good evening, college sports crew fans. It's me, Coach Pops. I'm sitting off now in actually it's not too bad, Hillsboro, Oregon, right now, and in Coach Pop studio right here alongside me right here. I got my guy Ian McCants from
Absolutely.
sitting out here in Georgia on the East Coast side.
Yeah,
How's it
but
been going?
this
How you
I'm
doing, big
straight
guy?
out of Alabama though. Let's make sure
Oh, okay.
that they
Uh,
know the truth. I'm in
uh,
Georgia, but I'm straight out of
You're in
Alabama.
just in Georgia to make that money, right? Taking
That's
advantage
it.
of that.
That's
That money
it.
says, I hear you. Well, hey guys, we got a kind of a we kind of got a. It's going to be a normal show, regular show, but you know what? There's one thing that we kind of want to do because this is we are Veteran Sports Voice podcast powered by College Sports Crew, and we're thankful for that platform, and we kind of wanted to just kind of go over a little bit about what we are. And so, let me give a formal introduction. As you see, Coach Pop, I'm Sean Mercer. I'm a former U.S. Army veteran and former Naval submarine veteran, Army Airborne in the Army. And right here, this is Ian McCants, former U.S. Naval submarine fire control technician veteran. And this, you know what, I think I think our tagline is kind of like, we're going to talk college sports, but it's college sports spoken by those who served, and we want a platform that's going to that allows veterans to speak and also lead from the front a little bit. So we focus on college sports, real life issues impacting veterans in the service, and we want this built by us, by veteran commentators. um, so that to us, that's what this is about for us. And I know McCants here, my guy Ian. He's already told me he's got a little thing he's doing in the first of the year, and so I'm probably gonna have one of his guys on this show here that he says is a college football guy, and he loves his Bama, and that's the kind of thing we want. I had this whole little script I was gonna read, but it's sometimes it's better coming from the heart. um,
Right.
but that's where we came and that's where we came from. And I like Ian to kind of throw his 2 cents in here and how he feels about this, because I know this is something that's important to me. And when
Yeah.
I felt this is the guy I called, and it's because I knew it would be important to him. So I'm gonna let him have his do your thing, boss.
The thing that I love about this platform, Sean, is okay, I gotta highlight one thing. Okay, we're veterans, but we're also degreed, okay, advanced degreed. And so I think we have a perspective from all aspects and viewpoints, philosophies. We've learned, the military and defense, and we've also gone and sat in a classroom and learned, those type of, philosophies that's more theoretical. But at the end of the day, I think what we're going to be able to do is to allow the public to no longer give company answers. Okay. And so it's very easy to run around and say, thank you for your service. But do you know what that really means? You don't have to just thank me for something because it makes you feel good. You know, I want us to discuss our experiences, how it shaped our outlook, our hopes and our dreams. And then maybe you'll be thanking me for something that's actually, tangible. And so I think that's what we can do here with this platform.
Absolutely. And that's one of my big things. I want to bring awareness to veterans. I want to highlight, like you just said, what our brothers in arms and sisters in arms face after service, create a space for real conversation. That a lot of times that's, and Ian, this, it's ignored a lot of
Mhm.
daggum times, man. Um, Once that uniform comes off, but and I know, you got out before I did, and I don't know what your transition was like. Mine was a little bit difficult, I mean, it was just,
Mhm.
but I worked around the world a little bit. I traveled around the world working and stuff. So I didn't have to come to face till a lot of things until later in life, later. And
Right.
I'm glad I did. Um, but you know what? I do. And we're going to have other people on here that are not veterans. And that's because we want that diversity. But also, if we have that veteran that's on here that knows what he's talking about and wants to talk and wants to talk sports and ain't afraid to share his story or her story, I'm all about that too. And that's what I love about this, because at the end of the day, this is going to be college sports, and it's going to be spoken by those who served. And to me, that's important. And we want to focus on college football, all college sports, and give
Absolutely.
honest analysis from everything from the NIL to you name it, from all things college sports, but also that veteran perspective inside and outside sports. Because I can tell people right now, I literally talked to our producer yesterday behind the scenes, and I told him I just found out that his family, especially his wife, is a big Atlanta Braves fan. Well, no one knows that about me. Dude, I can still tell you, and I quoted off the starting lineup from 1984 Atlanta Braves, man. From Bruce Benedict catching, Chris Chambliss at first, Glenn Herbert at second, Rafael Ramirez at third, Bob Horner at short, Bob Horner at third. But I also remember where I was at in the military when they won, how important that was when they won that first World Series. And you know what? And I was in a, be honest here, I'm a veteran. I was in a
quick little story, man. Quick little story. So, I'm from Alabama, and we didn't have a pro team, sandwiched between the Falcons and the Saints. Both of them kind of sucked my whole young life. Okay. Right. But as I'm graduating high school, trying college, going into the military, now the Falcons are winning. They have Jamal Anderson, the Dirty Bird. And so anyway, man, they're getting ready to play John Elway and the Broncos in the Super Bowl, and I'm at boot camp. This is like week 2. And I, had been in Atlanta going to school, ended up joining the military, but I was just, how can you miss the Super Bowl? So I asked my RDCs week 2 to watch the Super Bowl. And they were so shocked by the audacity of a week 2 seaman to ask the what. So they sent me down to the RDC lounge. I had to turn my back to the TV. And every time Denver scored, I had to do jumping jacks like Denver. Never forget that, man. It's just like, when you were talking about, you remember where you was, that right. Never forget that for the rest of my life, man. But I had to ask,
yeah. But that's because it's that important to you, and also I'd like to point out Jamal Anderson was defensive end, University of Arkansas. Just like to point that out. But sports.
Well, what was his name, the running back for the Falcons? It wasn't Jamal. You don't remember the Dirty Bird?
Oh yeah, okay. I thought there was a defensive end, Jamal Anderson, that played. That was a defensive.
Jamal, either Jamal or Jerome. But it was a Jay Anderson that, he was a decent. He's the one that, pretty much led him to the Super Bowl that year.
Right. Yeah. But that's the thing. Sports, man, people in the civilian world probably don't understand this as much as like military people do. Like sometimes, man, sports, man, those are the things that you catch, that get your mind off of what's going on. How many times have we been somewhere, Ian, and we were waiting on those asymmetric communications coming from home just to get those scores and stuff, we would come up to Periscope depth, and then the first thing you would do was sitting outside the radio man's shack going, hey, what was the score? What happened? You remember?
Absolutely. It's so funny you brought it. I just told that story to somebody. Like, submarines was so secretive that we didn't even know when we were coming home. We tried our best to give our families a heads up. And so that's what I would do. We would get like about 5 or 6, words in a sentence. And so I would tell her, did Alabama win? That means we're coming back on time. Did Alabama lose? That means we're delayed. But that's the way we communicated.
Yeah, dude.
Because people are so crazy about sports that they didn't realize that I was sending a hidden message.
Oh yeah, dude. I had my own little key stuff like that. We had like little code words meant like, oh, we're coming in home in this time block, or not. Oh God, the stuff we got away with. Oh yeah, the OPSEC now that they probably, oh my God, yeah, crazy. But yeah. So with that, guys, we're gonna, so I kind of, with all military, we kind of have mission statements, mission agenda, and I kind of went over this a little bit with McCants and with Ian, and I told Ian, later, hey, if something he doesn't like, we're going to change this out, because this ain't just mine. This is mine and Ian's here, and any other veteran and any other guest that we have on here, because
can I say one thing, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. Jump in, big guy.
With that being said, when you look at me wearing these custom shirts, if you want me to advertise your brand, you better get in now, because the price is low. It's gonna go up very fast.
Exactly.
Okay, Sean.
Exactly. No,
Before
do your thing. But so, our mission agenda, I guess our mission for us, we're gonna operate with clear objectives. We're gonna deliver fair, honest, and experience-driven sports coverage. I mean, I'm an Arkansas guy, he's an Alabama guy, but I'm also smart enough to know that, if my team's playing this team and that team's gonna beat, I'm gonna be honest about it. I'm gonna hope like hell they're gonna win. But
right.
I'm going to be honest about it, right? Because we're going to be honest about it, right? You know
Mhm.
what? And here's another thing that I really like that McCants and I have talked about is we're going to address hard questions in college athletics, and we have already come up with a few topics and that are going to make people go, "Oh, dang, why are they talking about that?" But you know what? Because it needs to be spoken, and you're looking
Right.
at two guys who ain't scared to speak it or talk about it or bring it up, and so that's that's what we're going to do that. And also, too, we're going to provide veterans a platform to speak and lead from. And we're going to elevate that leadership and accountability in conversations, right? And also, this is key for me. For me, this is key for me. I want to increase awareness of the veteran's life after service. Because y'all always hear the bad, the ugly. I guess that's what always worries me the most. Is anytime everything goes on, oh, it's a veteran. You know what? Yeah, we all had some tough times. Every one of us has had tough times. But man, for every tough time, y'all hear me when I tell y'all that there is some success stories out there that should be made into movies. So we
Pressure
want
makes
to tell it.
diamonds, baby. Pressure makes
Absolutely.
diamonds.
Absolutely it does.
Mhm.
And you know what? And I can tell you now, I know this guy and I know me. We're going to support our brother and sisters in arms through the visibility and the community of this podcast. And we hope and we're going to maintain full independence from any kind of corporate influence because this is our show and this is our idea and what we do. And with that being said, I cannot even begin to thank College Sports Crew platform and on X they're at College Crew for allowing us to do what we do right here. And they've allowed a lot more other programs to do what we have. So not only on this program, we have this program here. We have a great show, Sweet Tea in the SEC, and it is what it says it is, man. Sweet Tea and SEC, you can't get no more south than that. And then we talk ball with Chris and Austin, and they talk all ball. They had a great show last night where they put on and talked about the games coming up this week. It's a no nonsense, straight talk college football. And then we got my probably one of my favorites. And we started this is unfiltered, unapologetic, and unbothered. And that's done by our guy. That's our guy Snacks Martin over there that's on that show with us. Man, and I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, that's a raw, honest commentary with zero filters and full accountability. And this will be the only time I'll say this on it. But his logo it's not one fuck given, and it ain't.
Hey.
I'm gonna tell you right now, it ain't. So but and then we got another one, dude. I'm really excited about with a young man named Caden. We're going to be launching in February, but it's called Chasing Omaha NCAA baseball. And you know what, guys? From what I can tell, there's two major podcasts that deal with that. And Caden, he played college ball, so we got it from a different perspective coming to here. And so, I love that, and it's focused on college baseball and the road and how the path you got there. And then probably one of my favorite shows is, and I've been on this, is a man. It's called the Weekly Walk On, and it's stories and insight on non-traditional paths of under-recruited athletes and behind-the-scenes grind. And man, I tell you what, I know one of his guests that's going to be on there was a kid that I grinded with at University of Arkansas who's is working as Chicago with the Chicago Cubs as sports and strength and conditioning. And that story, I thought I knew that kid's story until I talked to him the other day. And wow, that's going to be a good one, guys. So these are the programs that are on here. And I know for me personally, I'm proud to be on this program. And Ian, tell me what you think. And we're going to get off and get into some ball talk.
I feel privileged. We've known each other for a long time, Sean. And when you came to me giving ideas, man, and sometimes I feel like my life is busy, right? I work full time and I'm, in the entertainment industry, but I come to these discussions and I leave refreshed, and so, I thank you. I thank, you for introducing me to the crew, my experiences with them, man. I'm just humbled and proud to be a part of it.
Well, dude, I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else here. I promise you, man. You were my first call, and because, dude, how many times? No, but you know what, Ian? How many times, man, have we been somewhere and all we had was talking ball, man?
That's
talking
it, man.
ball, like, you know what I mean? You know, like seriously, that's a bond right there, just in itself. And you know, and I'm glad because this audience here, you know, I do want to say one last thing about, you know, for the audience, you know, it's college sports fans are hopefully seeking honest analysis, and veterans and active duty service members, military family and supporters, coaches, athletes, sports professionals, and just listeners that may be just tired of corporate crap that's being spewed out, you know, and that's it. And you know what? And we're always going to honor all those people. But you know what? And especially Gold Star members, you know, that's a sacrifice that no one can even put into words of what you sacrifice for this country. And we're always going to honor that. And so with that, let's get into some college football, man. Hey, speaking of Bama, Ian, dude, I kind of hear y'all got an important game coming up tonight. I don't know. Little birdie told me, my man.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So what you got, man? What you got? Talk to me. Tell me how you feeling about it?
You know, I've been reflecting on it. Actually, Oklahoma is kind of like our Georgia. You know, I remember us jumping out on them when they had Kyler Murray, and then they came back. I think that was a playoff game. But other than that, man, they beat us consistently over the years. I remember, you know, making the name of Travis Knight, you know. But I feel eerily confident about this game. I think Bama has a lot on the line. DeBoer has to coach his butt off. You know, Ty, you know, what are you going to do, Ty? Are you going to ball out, or are you going to come back? You know, you were a Heisman Trophy, you know, contender. Are you going to come back, and then you probably got to transfer because DeBoer is not going to lose Keelan Russell over you, you know? And so it's a lot going on. A lot of good players returning from injury, including Ty's safety blanket, you know, Cuevas. And so, for reason, man, I expect Bama to play a good game tonight. And even though Oklahoma has had our number, you know, we should have beaten them quite a few of those times. And so, clean it up. Don't throw a pick six like you did last time. And I got a feeling that we'll be okay.
Yeah. Well, and I think you're right, man. With Josh Cuevas being back, that's monster. Big time monster. You know, and you got Jam coming back too. Is that right? Jam's going to be back here for this game.
Man, Jam don't matter, man.
Well, he does for pass blocking. That's sad to say, but he helps out in that.
It's like, okay, I get what you're saying. He's the best pass blocker, but is it really effective if there's no threat of him running?
Yeah, true. But you know what? Is Alabama just going to abandon the run? I mean, last time they 4 times?
It's a scheme issue. It's a theory issue. It's not a talent issue. Now, I did say something on the previous podcast talking about how Saban had a lot of misses in recruiting, and I was corrected by my son. You know, we had misses, but we also lost, you know, a lot of players when Saban left, including, you know, Ohio State's best 2 players, and including Justice Haynes, you know, at Michigan. So, you know, he probably would have been a feature back. But, you know, like I said, man, you know, DeBoer grew up, you know, that West Coast where you could, you know, get around a corner. You can't do that in the SEC, man. And so he has to rewire that.
Right.
His tenure at Alabama is going to be short-lived because you have to have a running game, man. You got to have it. No way around it.
Well, let me ask you this, Ian. From you being the Alabama guy, right now I'm looking at y'all's out. So you got Cameron Howard out, Latham out, Kilpatrick Jr. is out, left tackle. Overton is out.
That's a biggie. That's a real biggie.
Riley and Beeman. Out of those, which one of these? Which are these? you wish you had playing right now?
Well,
What is the
Overton for
key?
sure, man. Yeah,
That's what I
Overton
was
for
kind of
sure
thinking.
on that D line, man. Overton had been balling out, you know, and our defense, it was weird, man. It's like you could see them gelling, and you was thinking like, man, this is it for the rest of the year. And then, you know, they just had a couple of bust downs. I don't even blame the defense for Georgia. I mean, when you constantly going 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and leaving that short field, and you know, what do you want the defense to do? But
Right.
Overton's a big loss. But like I said, man, Cuevas is a big game. And you know, at the end of
Yes.
the day, is you know, Grubb and AJ, it looks pretty, man. You know, they're, you know, doing all these motions and stuff. But at the end of the day, Oklahoma laid the blueprint because Cuevas wasn't there, which was blitzing. And Georgia
Right.
followed. And so now we got them there. So let's see if they can blitz the way that they did in game one.
Right. Oh, I agree. Cuevas is going to be huge here. The only thing, so everybody's been talking about the you know the battle in the trenches here with this game, which you know as well as I do. Absolutely, who's going to win that line of scrimmage is the key to the game. But there's one player, and it's not just because I was on the staff when he was at Fayetteville, Arkansas High School, as Isaiah Satania the third.
Mhm.
Y'all actually did really well. I think y'all did. Y'all held him. Let's see. Hold on. I have that somewhere right here. Yes. At Alabama, y'all held him to 4 receptions for 26 yards, 21 yards rushing, and normally it's on a jet sweep that he does
Right.
that.
Yeah, right.
But he did have a 42-yard punt return against y'all that flipped it. Yeah, that flipped the field on y'all there. But
Mhm.
his next games, he had 100. So he had 189 total yards. His next game, he had 109 receiving yards, and in LSU, he had 121 yards receiving. So
Mhm.
he's getting bigger. But y'all did really well, and he's really good in the slot, and that's where he's dangerous because they max his. Oklahoma's really good at creating that mismatch, and you'll see that a lot if you watch. And I watched Oklahoma a little bit today. They do a really like close in bunch set. They're set by the tight end. They actually kind of use the tight end as a bunch, but it is nothing more than to disguise Satania, and he'll find out. And if you watch him, he'll pick out real fast who's guarding him, and
Mhm.
he will attack that guy, and
Yeah.
from right there he will stem his route where it needs to go.
Well,
And
we'll see, man. I'm not that confident in Mateer. You know,
exactly, yeah,
you
but he's
know,
normally a quick shot pass on that, and Mateer's gotten better at that the last 2 games, hitting him
right.
quick, and
I
that's
mean,
the thing I think y'all got to watch out for.
Alabama's defense has played just fine. I mean, even against Auburn, you know, we shut Cam Coleman down. He had similar stats against
Right.
all the teams that surrounded us. And so, you know, at the end of the day, man, like, you know, and I didn't even see the Florida State game. I missed that. But for Alabama's losses, man, it's been a common theme. The offense failing and putting the defense in compromising
Right.
positions.
Right.
You know, I haven't seen them just get pushed around. Like even with Georgia, it was what I just mentioned, you know, and so we'll see, man. You know,
Yeah.
hey, come there
Well,
and move up and down the field if you can. I haven't seen it a lot.
well, and what what I was saying by that was I think that's one thing that Alabama might need a key on because they've done their last 2 games. They have hidden him and schemed him up really well. And of course, I
Right.
know Alabama's got coaches there that they've watched these last 2 games, and trust me, they've broken down more film than a little bit. So, but I just think that's a matchup that is worth kind of watching
Yeah, yeah,
and taking note of.
absolutely. Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
But yeah, other than that, oh, I did find out some good news. I'll tell you this. So a veteran friend of mine called me today and it's like, hey man, I got 4 tickets to JMU Oregon, which is
Okay.
about 2 hours down the road. So
For some reason,
yeah,
I
so
got a
Coach Pops is
funny
gonna
feeling about this, man. It just feels, especially with the Godfather Saban coming out and dropping what he dropped. Did you hear what he said?
oh dude, is this the one where he said that it was like having a AAA team,
Yeah,
a AAA
you
team
don't do
playing?
that. You don't do that, man. Like You know, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's just, we've seen this before, right? Um, I don't know, man. I just feel like they might keep it close just to have, you know, all this upheaval.
We got there on the screen right there.
Yeah, man. That's a bad quote. That's a bad
Dude,
quote.
that is definitely some locker room material right there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and then you justify it to put Notre Dame in because they get slaughtered every time they get in the playoffs, you know. So to me, is no real difference between JMU and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I
No
agree.
difference.
And I'll tell you, I know you say you have funny feelings, and don't get me wrong. Everybody, I feel Oregon's going to win this game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I live up here, guys. Y'all, for the last week and a half, we've had an atmospheric river that's just shifted north to us. Yesterday, and let me tell people about the rain in Oregon. It's not like the same rain we have back home in South where I'm from. I can tell you honestly right now, in 4 years that I've lived in Oregon, on where I'm at, I have never seen it lightning or thunder. It just don't. It just rains, but it's a weird rain. Back home, we would call it a mist, but it missed all the time from November to almost Memorial Day in May. But these last week and a half, dude, it's been a straight up rain. Dude, we had like Eugene got 5 inches of rain 2 days ago, and it's been today.
Where's JMU at? Where are they?
They are in Virginia, if I'm not mistaken. They're flying from the East Coast over. If I'm not mistaken, they are in Virginia.
Time difference, bad.
Yeah, and so I'm sure. Well, I'm sure they got here in plenty of time to correct that. But you said something just now key: a slow field. Slow field. Now, I'll give Oregon all the credit in the world because they have won every way possible this year. They've won in ugly weather. They've won in good weather. They've won defensively. They've won offensively. They have won every way possible. But that slow field, and then matched with that Saban statement over there. And you know what? What the hell do they have to lose? They ain't got nothing to lose except come in and ball out the best they can.
It's surprising that he put that out.
I know, you know. But you know, is that him? Is that him making a statement because he wants to be the next college commissioner or the first college commissioner?
Let JMU beat Oregon and see, you know, let Saban deal with that backlash because everybody in the world is going to go at him. It will be nothing more gratifying than.
So are you going to go after him if they win?
Nah, I mean Saban my guy, but I'm just saying, I'm just surprised that he would put that much out there, man. We lost to Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah, that was his first year too, though. I mean,
but I'm just saying, man, like crazier things can happen, you know.
And y'all wasn't ranked number 3 in the nation either at that time. So
all I'm saying, man, is crazier things can happen. I'm just not willing to jump out there like that, you know. Right. Football, man. You know, so.
Well, I tell you what, man. So, so these are our games on tap right here. And so you're going Alabama on this one right here. What do you have a score prediction for us?
Okay. So this is what I think is going to be, right? We take pleasure in suffocation. So I don't expect it to be a 35-14 game or anything like that. I expect it to be like a 21-13, but just painful. Right. Painful. Like put your neck on their throat, man.
Right. Make it hurt, right?
Enough. 60 degrees. You know, that's what I want to feel, man.
Right. So I'm kind of going with the 21-7 is what I'm going with there because I think you're for Bama. I'm going Bama on this. I'm going Bama. Just because y'all had some key players there, and you know, and like you said, a pick six. You know, that's what hurt y'all. Special teams hurt you guys on that. You know, so yeah, I'm definitely going with Bama on that from that deal. Now. You know, there's also another game there with Miami at Texas A&M. What's your thoughts on that one?
That's hard for me to call, man. I'm just not a believer in Texas A&M. I mean, they should have lost to Arkansas, or was it Arkansas or South Carolina?
Yeah, they should have lost. I mean, they only beat us by a couple of points, so I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, you're right. But that South Carolina game, to me, that showed character on their part.
Well, it showed character, but yeah, but I just we're at the playoffs and we're talking about flaws, and I think that's a flaw. You can't play around with people like that, and I don't know Carson Beck. He started the season so great, but he kind of leveled out. But I don't know, man. I'm gonna go Miami with this one.
Oh no! Oh
Yeah,
my goodness! Now,
yeah.
see, people, this is where we're going to disagree because, and I might be eating crow on this show here afterwards. But all I can see is, if you've never been to a game at Kyle Field at Texas A&M, put that on your bucket list and put it on there if you can get to where it's a game. It's a game, like a dog of a game. You hear me, people? Because that field can get loud and it can change. It can change the dynamic of a game, and I mean quick when it gets loud. And I think they're going to be rocking that place when this game kicks off.
They corny though, man. It's a corny.
You know what? They may be corny.
It's not the
but
same.
they still loud as hell.
It's just they it's a bunch of people and they're jumping around. Nobody cares,
right. Man. And also too, I'm looking at this here, and all I can see is just Danny Cannell's face over here, right? All Mr.
What's he
ACC
been talking
guy.
about?
He ain't. He actually surprised me the other day. I literally looked at the post. He expects Texas A&M to win and cover the spread. I was like, oh my God, did he have a heart attack? Did he have a fever
that's
or
the death
something?
knell right there. They're absolutely going to lose.
Yeah, but you know what?
Two people that I don't want picking my team to win. That's Danny Cannell and Lee Corso.
Right. Well, and with that being said, I'm over here looking at this is still SEC versus ACC.
Yeah.
Show me a matchup where ACC, what besides Florida State at the beginning of the year with you guys, but I still don't know what happened. I think half the team stayed on the bus. Like I'm not sure what happened that first game.
I gotta give this the disclaimer. I'm a sports bettor, so I look at things more practically instead of emotionally. So conference don't matter to me, man. Like outside of Bama, and I don't even put money on Bama. I don't trust them.
Well, see, right now, and see, this is what we're talking about, people. This is one of the talks that Ian and I have had. We're going to talk about this betting and all this stuff because there's games, and if all you got to do, even Stevie Wonder called like, "Hey, man, I saw that was crooked as hell." Like he could see a prop bet, like bro, there's prop bets going on left and right. And you know what? One of the quarterbacks in tonight's game, Mateer. That remember, I don't know if y'all remember, but you remember when they were like, "Oh, Mateer had that thing on his Venmo or Cash App or something where it was said paying back for a sports bet or for a bet or something like that." I don't know if y'all remember that, but that shit that quietly and quickly got swept under the rug. And all I'm saying is, and if you go back and look at his stuff from last year when he played at Washington State, there's games here that if he was as elite as they say he was, how did you lose him games, or how were those games even close? So
he's good, man. He's not that good, but quarterbacks have a habit of having their career being made, by just, him.
Absolutely.
Travis Knight, Stephen Garcia, just loves, man. And they just one night,
And so I brought that up because we're going to discuss this because I know you talked to me about an NBA game that you said was so damn obvious. And so, this is the hard stuff we're going to talk about. And I tell people right now, and I've told it, this will be my third time saying, if you bet on college sports, you are a fool because they cannot control prop betting. They cannot. And it is that easy. It is literally as easy as one player saying, I'm not going to gain this many yards and he can take a knee. Or like the kid from, I think it was Buffalo that just ran the hell out of bounds. Down by 2 touchdowns and ran straight out of bounds. If you tell me that so that's the kind of stuff we're going to talk about right there.
One night I got a 5-leg parlay, man, and I just need Jimmy Butler to score like 15 points, right? He has 13 points first half. I'm like, cool, just one more bucket. Whole second half, man, he's not scoring. He's throwing the ball. and then literally saw him, he wide open, and he just starts pump faking, man, pump faking and throwing the ball. You know, it's like you're option number 2 next to Steph. You're the guy.
Right.
It just stressed me out, man. I'm stomping, I'm cussing. And then he hits like a last minute jumper. It's like 3 seconds left to go in the game, but that don't make me feel better because you can bet so many ways. You know, you can bet overall points, you can bet points in a quarter, you know. So he made somebody some money that night, man, taking the under. You know, I saw it, you know, but
and see,
yeah,
and see, that's why I'm not going to bet. I'm just not going to do it because
this is why I do it. Like, you know, it's like, it sucks because like a guy told me, you're willing to put all this money on Google. You don't know them people. You don't know their habits. You don't know this. You're just trusting. You have a higher likelihood to have the insider advantage of an individual player because you know if they're hot or cold, you know if they're sick or whatever. So I bought into that. Now, have I done well? No. but it sounded logical to me, you know. So
yeah, you know, and yeah, and I get it, but I just can't. You know, to me, there needs to be some safeguards put in place. You know,
yeah,
yeah, and that definitely that's going to be a discussion for later. But you know, one of the quickest things that college football could do, you know, I'll say this, and we'll move on quick, I guess. But you know, after every game, every coach, certain players, they have to speak after the game. You know what? Let's get that referee that made that dumbass controversial call that affected the game. I want him to have to speak after the game. I want them to have to answer questions just like the coaches do, just like the players do. I mean, why are we protecting people here that obviously don't use their vision insurance, you know, for that's part of the package. So yeah, that's one thing I would love to see. That's easy. That's easy.
You know, don't feel sorry for them. They make good money, man. Like,
oh yeah,
you know, I refereed in Birmingham, Alabama, and man, you can make $300-400 a week, easy side gig. You know,
right.
Refereeing, you go on a Saturday and you got the little kids out there, you know. That's $60 a game. You do 3 of those. You do a couple of high school games, and it's all year round. Now, when you get to the SEC, you know these guys are getting $5,000 a game per diem. You know, so hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. It's no excuses. It's not like, oh, well, they're just volunteering, and no, they're making money. You know, so hold them accountable. Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you know what? I don't know if Chris saw this on my private chat over there, our producer. So I'm now that I'm giving him time to look. But you know what? We got to send out a little respect here. You know. So this kid right here, I think his last name was McGill. I can't remember. Go ahead and play. Go ahead and play it, Chris.
Horrible.
That kid's literally shaking his head. Yeah.
But look. This is what everybody's missing, right? Look at little brother right there, you know, in that burgundy shirt. He not singing either. And at first I was upset because I was like, you know, I'm all about, equality. And so I'm like, well, why didn't little bro, blow up? Because he wasn't singing either. But then I realized he wasn't protesting. He just didn't know the words.
Well, we got to make him famous too, man. We got to, teacher, what is that what kind of crap is that, teacher? You don't teach everybody the song? Come on, man. But I got to give that little kid, I can't remember his name. I think his last name was McGill. 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 I think it was his last name.
He's Spanish strong.
But he's like, I'm a Georgia Bulldog. I'll be damned if I'm going to sing your Rocky Top. So, yeah, exactly. Got to give kids prop on that, man. So,
So
guys.
I like that, man. It's no wiggle room. Like literally, if I drove from Montgomery to Atlanta, I made my kids hold their breath as we passed through Auburn.
Oh my God. You just didn't want that to get in their system at all, right? Just didn't want that nastiness, right? Is that what it was?
That Cal College.
Oh, yeah.
This thing I don't get about Auburn, man. Why do you have two mascots? Are you an eagle or are you a tiger? Have you ever thought about that?
Well, that's kind of like the same with Ole Miss, man. Are they whatever the hell they are, an old rebel thingy or a damn land shark or what, or a black bear? Were they the Ole Miss Black Bears at one time?
It's them celebrating, but they literally have an eagle that flies around, and they're just confused.
Yeah, but that's it. We could talk about. That's kind of like just. Oh God, don't even get me. I'm not even going to go talk Texas today. I don't want my blood pressure up. I'll just say this. If Texas was playing the Taliban, I'd root for Taliban every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So so that's Texas. And the young man's name was Nolan McGill. Nolan McGill. Nolan, if anybody's out there hearing us, know us, Nolan, respect, my guys. Respect. Stand up. Believe what you believe in. You know what?
The kid in front of Nolan. That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Why do you know the lyrics to that song?
See, and then you got McCants over here mad because he wasn't represented, I guess. but I just as well as I do though, man. His parents, they taught him there's nothing better than a bulldog out there, Georgia Bulldog, and that's how it is. And you got to respect that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So guys, we're at 42 minutes, 43 minutes. It just normally goes an hour, but we got a game coming on here later tonight. And I know everybody wants to get casual and comfortable and ready for it. I appreciate everybody that's heard us, and we've got quite a few some listeners up here that's watching us right now, and I appreciate it. And because this is the Veteran Sports Voice podcast, and it's college sports spoken by those who serve. And we appreciate you. And I'm gonna let Ian close us out. And I'll actually, if you would go to YouTube at College Sports Crew at YouTube and hit that subscribe button for us right there. And hey, I also know that we're on our old platform because that platform was given to us to use as we wanted. And thank you for that graphic right there, Chris. Man, I've got the best damn producer in the business right here, dude. I love this guy. He's my dude. And we were on our old platform. And if you're listening on that, that is our platform. But we are transitioning to this right here, College Sports Crew. Hit that subscribe button right there, guys. And then if you're on X, hit us at College Crew, both C's in that capitalized, at College Crew on X, and let us know what you think, man. Repost our videos, throw some quotes out there. Let us know you like it, and that's how we grow. And with that being said, I'm going to end this right here. I'm going to let my guy Ian Iceberg McCants do his thing, baby.
Yeah, man. I want to talk about something very important. That's liquor. Okay, so. You guys will see me with a cup, but let's talk about what's in this cup, right? So I get so mad at people, man, because they make you fall victim to stereotypes. Did you know that in Atlanta, as a black man, if I don't like lemon pepper wings, I'm not all that black? Did you know that?
Dude, if you bring up Hennessy, I'm gonna roll out this damn chair, bro.
I like garlic parmesan. Okay, so
I do too.
This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about tequila, right?
Okay.
I watched this documentary. Let's talk about vodka. Vodka. Okay, so generally, where would you say vodka's from?
Well, the reason why I know what you want me to say, Russia, the Baltics, the Scandinavia, all that. But man, there's some great stuff where I'm in here that Crater Lake vodka is probably one of the better ones I've ever had. So
would you say Canada though?
I would not have thought Canada. Absolutely not.
Right. And so this guy knew nothing about vodka. He just knew that people would fall victim to stereotypes. And he had this pretty bottle and he sold all this vodka, man. It's in all the Puff Daddy videos. You know what I'm saying? Grey Goose. Horrible vodka, man. And so let's talk about tequila. We're over here. We're hearing, was it Clase Azul? You know, ring the bell at the top, or Don Julio or Patron. It's trash, man. Like when you go to Mexico and you have some real tequila like this, you realize how bad this stuff is. And so
Right.
stop listening to people. I'm like, I drink enough of this I'm searching for a sponsorship. So I'm gonna put you on the game. This is the best tequila in the US. It's smooth.
Pick it up a little higher. Pick it up a little higher so we can see. There we go.
We're gonna tag y'all because people don't know about this, but here I am.
All right, Mr. Producer. With that, clip this. Oh wait, hold that up. Hey, do that again, Ian.
There we go.
Clip this.
Addictivo. Yes.
Mr. Producer guy behind the scenes, would you please make sure we find them and we tag them on this, sir?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So now, so can you buy that here? Do you have to be in? Is that something you can buy here?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's great and it's here. You know, now.
Okay.
You don't see it, you know, in a lot of liquor stores, but here in Atlanta is definitely plentiful, man. But that's the closest thing to that real Mexican tequila that you'll find over here.
Okay. Well, there we have it, folks. You have had it from the vodka and tequila extraordinaire.
Stop drinking that crap just because you think that's the cool thing to do, or some rapper told you to do that, man. You know?
See,
take my word for it, because I'm smarter than all the rappers.
See, there you go. Not only you get a little college sports, but you get a little history and fine liquor. There we go.
That's it.
So with that being said, my guys, we're out of here. It is 48 minutes to the till. We're going to go watch the college football game. We hope you enjoy and it's a great game, and we hope Bama wins. And if you're an Oklahoma fan, we hope your team loses for the sake, because I got to put up with this guy next show. So we love you. Peace out, guys. And this is Veteran Sports Voice Podcast. College sports spoken by those who served.
Absolutely.